If you're thinking about moving or relocating to the Elk Grove area, then stay tuned because in this video, we're going to be talking about 7 reasons that you need to consider or reasons why you shouldn't move to Elk Grove, California.
Let's check it out.
What's up everyone? We're Lance and Lauren with L2 Home Group and the Living in Sacramento YouTube channel, and we're going to jump right into it. We get so many people that want to move or relocate to the Elk Grove area, but here's going to be 7 reasons on why you may not want to move to Elk Grove or the greater Sacramento area for that matter. But first, if you're thinking about moving or relocating to the greater Sacramento area, we're going to be throwing that phone number up on the screen. We are one of the top relocation teams here in the greater Sacramento Metro, which means that as much as we love making these videos, we also love more helping you out with all of your real estate needs. So that phone number should be popping up. We are the ones that answer every phone call, email, or text message, and we absolutely love it when you guys reach out to us and connect with us. So diving right into it, we're going to be looking at the first reason why you shouldn't move to Elk Grove.
All right, so the first reason why you shouldn't move to Elk Grove is going to be the heat here. It gets super hot in all of Sacramento, including the surrounding areas, and Elk Grove is no different. Now, one thing we like to tell people if you do decide to move here is during the summer months, you're probably going to want to rearrange how you accomplish your tasks and errands. So while it does get super hot, usually our mornings and later evenings, it does cool down enough where you can get out, enjoy a walk with your dog, or go do your errands and not have to be in the super hot heat. So we like to get outside early in the mornings, do our cardio, do our outdoor activities, and then really reserve the main bulk part of the day where we're inside in the air conditioner.
Now, of course, this isn't Arizona and it's not 110 or 120 degree heat, but when it is 100 or 105 degrees and the temperature just doesn't seem to cool down on the evenings, it is best to get out, do your errands early in the morning, keep the house kind of closed up as it relates to your blinds and making sure that all the cool air stays in, run that AC and allow your AC to get a head start on the day. So, you know, when it's 70, 75, 80 degrees, it's easier for your house to cool and maintain it through the hottest part of the day.
Now, one thing too, even though it does get hot here, is if you do like to go outside during those times, is Elk Grove does have the Sacramento River close by where if you enjoy going boating, you can take your boat out on the river, you can enjoy a nice day out on the water to cool off. Or if you want to go to a pool facility, Elk Grove has an awesome facility with the Elk Grove Aquatic Center. This was recently built. It's a beautiful facility. It has an Olympic-sized pool. It also has a slide area, and it also has a little wading pool area where you can take the kiddos out. You can spend the day hanging out by the pool and cooling off when it is super hot outside.
So the number 2 reason of why you may not want to move to Elk Grove, California is going to be the allergies here. So Sacramento, or the greater Sacramento Metro, was formerly known as the City of Trees prior to being known as the Farm to Fork capital. But with that being said, Elk Grove, the greater Sacramento Metro, there are tons of trees per square foot. And what comes with that, especially living in this area, is going to be allergies. I know that living here my entire life, when I moved down to San Francisco, where there wasn't a ton of allergies, wasn't a ton of pollen, wasn't a ton of just green foliage anywhere, I kind of got used to not being in that environment. Moved back 8 months later. My allergies were in full effect for about a year or 2 after moving back from San Francisco. So definitely nothing that an allergy pill can't fix. But if you have any type of breathing sensitivity or you just struggle with some of that stuff, keep in mind allergies are going to be something that you're going to deal with every spring, especially as the leaves start to turn or things start to bloom in the springtime. Allergies are definitely going to be one of those things that you want to be aware of. So before we jump into our next topic, if you're digging this video, go ahead, drop a comment down below. Let us know where you're coming from and let us know if you have any questions about the Elk Grove area, or if you're thinking about moving here and you want to know some more information, drop that in the comment down below.
Jumping into our next topic, we're going to be talking about traffic congestion. So Elk Grove is a very large city, and if you have to make it from one side of Elk Grove all the way to the other side, you're going to have to take city streets, and you're going to be dealing with a ton of traffic, a ton of stoplights. So it's one thing to really think about. Now, while Elk Grove is conveniently located between 2 of the major freeways, you've got 5 on the west side and you've got 99 towards more the eastern side. Now, if you have to commute, or if you have to go either down into the Bay or you have to go into Sacramento, thinking about a side where you're kind of closer to one of the freeways would probably make a little bit more sense, so you don't have to trek all the way across town. If you're trying to make it from one side of Elk Grove to the other side of Elk Grove, it could take you anywhere between 30 to 45 minutes, depending on what time of day you're traveling and if you're dealing with traffic. Now, even though we told you the traffic congestion here can be bad, now It's one thing to note that while it can be bad here in comparison to major cities like Los Angeles or San Francisco, or if you're in a major city outside of California like New York, the East Coast, or really any large city, we don't have that bad of traffic. So while it can be bad here, it's nothing like Southern California. You know, our freeways do continuously move. It's never like you're sitting on a parkway when you're on the freeway. It does move. It just can be a little bit slower. And it's one thing to note that like locals here will complain about the traffic, but if you've ever lived in Southern California or another city, it's really not that bad.
Which definitely leads us into our next topic of things that you may not like if you're thinking about moving or relocating to Elk Grove, California. And that's going to be limited public transportation. Now we do have a bus system, and those bus systems will interconnect between Elk Grove, Sacramento, Roseville, Folsom, depending on where you have to go. They do go to some of the main areas, but if you have to work anywhere outside of Elk Grove, or if you have to work even other places inside of Elk Grove, public transportation is not going to be as frequent or as often as you may be used to in a bigger city like a New York, like an LA, like a San Francisco, where you have, you know, munis and bus systems and subways and all of that stuff that can be very typical of larger cities with a bigger infrastructure as it relates to their public transportation.
Now, the fifth topic on our list is going to be limited nightlife and entertainment. So if you're thinking about moving to Elk Grove and you're hoping to be able to go out late at night and kind of enjoy that city party scene, Elk Grove's not going to have that. Now, one thing is you are, you know, kind of a quick Uber ride depending on which side you live in. It can be a quick Uber ride to get into downtown Sacramento, where they do have all of those things and you can go bar hopping and enjoy that scene. But Elk Grove is more of that residential suburb community where you're not going to have a ton of things going on late at night. A lot of restaurants are going to close, you know, between 9:30 and 10 o'clock. So it's not going to be like you can go out super late.
Now in Elk Grove, you will have, you know, your local watering holes, your local sports bars, dive bars, everything like that. It's just, you're not going to have that nightlife club entertainment type vibe that's going to be, you know, outside of those bars. It's not going to be open until, you know, 2 o'clock in the morning where you're going to get last calls. The nice thing about Elk Grove though is you are a quick, you know, I would say 15 to 25 minute drive into downtown Sacramento. The Uber rides from here are probably going to be the cheapest in comparison to the rest of Sacramento, but you will have to go into downtown Sac if you're trying to check out a Kings game at Golden One, or you're trying to check out a concert at Golden One, or any of the different venue spots that we have in downtown Sacramento. Now our number 6 topic of reasons why you may not want to move to Elk Grove, California is going to be the air quality, and the air quality kind of slash wildfires. So, you know, over the past couple of years, we have had an experience where we've had wildfires in the valley area of California. And then primarily these are going to be wildfires that are going to be located in rural or outside communities of Sacramento or the Sacramento Metro. So, you know, we had the Paradise Fire about 5 or 6 years ago. We've had fires in the Sierra Nevadas, and we've had fires that have kind of popped up sporadically in other parts of California. Now, when we say the air quality and the wildfires, so what ends up happening is the wind blows the smoke into the valley, and it tends to settle or sit here for an extended period of time until it dissipates or we get a rainfall or something like that. So the air quality can be super bad when we do have these wildfires in neighboring areas of the greater Sacramento area. Thank God we haven't had any that have happened, you know, directly in this area. While it has displaced some of these families, the air quality when we do have some of these wildfires can be a little bit less than ideal. So same thing when it goes for the heat. Sometimes the air quality is a little bit better in the morning before the day has really kind of heated up. So if you are going to be in the Sacramento area or the greater Sacramento area or Elk Grove, it is better to get up early, do your errands. If you are going to do any type of outdoor activities that day, get them done early when it's cooler in the day. It seems like the AQI score is a lot lower in the morning than it is maybe in the 2 or 3 or 4 o'clock afternoon hours. But that's one of those things where if you do have any kind of breathing sensitivity or air sensitivity, asthma, those are one of those things where we have had a lot of people that have decided not to move to the greater Sacramento area or Elk Grove specifically because they do have an air sensitivity or a breathing issue that requires them to not be around so much smoke or poor air quality.
Now, one thing to note is that our air quality is not bad all the time. It's really only when a wildfire hits and the winds shift and bring that smoke into the area. So like you said, the wildfires aren't directly in Sacramento or the Sacramento Metro. They're kind of in the outer surrounding areas. When the wind shifts and it carries that smoke into the Sacramento area, You know, it can sit stagnant until the winds shift and it takes it back out. But hopefully we don't have a ton of more wildfires. Hopefully our state gets a little better at managing their forestry, you know, and hopefully that's not something that we have to deal with in the future. But just note that it doesn't happen all the time. It's really just when we hit wildfire season if we have a fire.
Now, our number 7 reason on our list of reasons why you may not want to move to Elk Grove is going to be the higher cost of living in Elk Grove, and more specifically in California in general, right? So California is known to be a little bit more expensive. I think we were rated number 2 behind Hawaii as it relates to cost of living across the entire United States. So if you're thinking about moving or relocating to California in specific, it's probably going to be a higher cost of living as it relates to what you're used to or where you're coming from, unless you're coming from a state like maybe New York or something. But for the most part, the cost of living in Elk Grove is going to be much higher than other states when you're moving into California. Now, if you're moving to Elk Grove from, let's say, Bay Area, San Diego, Los Angeles, or like San Jose, Santa Clara area, Elk Grove can be a little bit more on the more affordable side if you're coming from a bigger name city within California, but that tends to be one of the biggest sticking points for people who are relocating to California from out of state, is that our cost of living is a lot higher in California than, let's say, other states that are surrounding Nevada, Texas, Arizona, Florida. So one of those things that you want to keep in mind. Now, we did just do an updated video of the cost of living in Sacramento for 2023, and a lot of those numbers are going to also parallel to what you can experience here in Elk Grove as it relates to still being in Sacramento County and still experiencing some of those same cost of livings as it relates to housing, groceries, utility costs, you know, and everything that you can expect as it relates for your cost of living in the greater Sacramento Metro for 2023.
Now that wraps up our reasons why you shouldn't move to Elk Grove. Now, if any of these were major sticking points for you or something that you're like, oh, I don't know if I can deal with that, definitely reach out to us. We'd love to have a conversation with you. Sometimes, you know, this might not be the right area for you, but there may be something else in the greater Sacramento Metro that might be the right area. So that's something that we specialize in. We know all of the areas in the greater Sacramento Metro really well, and we can definitely help you figure out and narrow down what might be the best fit for you and your family if you reach out to us.
Absolutely. So there should be that phone number popping back up. We are one of the top relocation teams in the greater Sacramento Metro, which means that as much as we love making these videos for you, we also love helping you more with all of your real estate needs. So that phone number is popping up. We are the ones that answer every phone call, email, and text message. And we absolutely love it when you guys reach out to us. We love it when you connect with us. So better yet, if you want, in the description down below, there should be a link to schedule your one-on-one Zoom consultation so we can set up a buyer strategy session and figure out if Elk Grove is the area for you, or if it's one of the other areas like Folsom, Roseville, El Dorado Hills, or the Sacramento Metro. So give us that call, shoot us that text, or send us that email, and we look forward to seeing you on the next one.